I remember thinking this back then, and like going back and seeing your guys' videos now, that like people were saying it back then are still saying it now. To me, you guys were like the original One Direction. You guys were One Direction before them, and it helped that you also had that Disney element too. So like you had mentioned earlier, you had music in the last song, prom, almost every single Family Channel / Disney Channel commercial break, I was seeing your guys' music videos. So did you guys hear a lot of those comparisons back then?
Yeah, it's a good question. I never really thought about it like that. Being like the first, like One Direction, I could see that.
Like there was a big gap between boy bands from like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Then there was nothing for like a while that was actually like doing big things. And then All-Star Weekend, One Direction, obviously the Jonas Brothers were before that, but like there was a span where there wasn't really boy bands the way there used to be.
I mean, there were, but yeah, you're right. There, I mean, there was like Honor Society and a couple bands like that tried to break. Well, I mean, I think they ended up doing some pretty big things, but no. And then also just we were like the interracialness, like, you know, Cameron is Asian. A lot of people don't know that. And then Michael's Filipino, me being African American. I probably was like the first African American to be in like a pop rock band like that. Aside from like Sum 41, when you have Dave Brown Sound, the lead guitarist, and they're on their last tour this year.
I know.
So sad. So yeah, that also had definitely helped, I think, because it was like mixed, and it was just like, how often does that happen, you know, in the music industry, in the way that we were doing it. I never looked at it like that. I guess I never gave myself and our band credit for being one of those first bands, or one of the first to kind of get the revival of the boy band thing spinning again.
The only one that also was around at the time I can think off the top of my head was like The Wanted as well.
And yes, there we go. Right? The Wanted. That was one of them. Yeah. So they came a little bit later.
Yeah, they did.
They broke a little bit later or whatever. Well, I remember playing some shows with them, 1 or 2 shows. Cool. Those guys were really cool.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. But I think you just got to have good representation around you to keep the ball rolling.